Hello everybody, my name is LOD Wise.
Hi, my name's Geminesis. Tonight we're reviewing Season 2, Episode 15 of Fear the Walking Dead, titled Los Muertos.
Alright, well, just before we get too far into this, I'll let you guys know we're definitely going to be having spoilers just like normal. But the first part is we really want to talk about, because this is kind of a really fantastic idea, would be the human sacrifice. It looks like human sacrifice, but this one wasn't. It was there actually to help protect the citizens with like a little zombie wall, which is great. I really wished Woodbury back in actually Walking Dead did this idea, because it's a great idea. They picked up in this camouflage idea a hell of a lot faster than the Walking Dead show. Alright, do you have any thoughts on that? What do you think about the human sacrifice part?
Honestly, the human sacrifice part at the very beginning, I was like, what are they doing? Why does the little girl's dad have to be sacrificed? But as you go in through the episode, you understand the reasoning why. But one thing I really did like, the fact that they used that school bus as kind of their door. They built that whole fence around that school bus, and it really did separate them from the from the dead, from their wall. And that way they always had people that they could just slice their neck open, camouflage themselves, and then go out in the real world.
My question is, why were they able to figure this idea out so damn quickly? In the Walking Dead scenario, they took freaking forever, and it was almost an accident that they kind of figured this idea out. That it's all about the smell, not really, the smell and the sounding, I guess, the hearing.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't understand why it took them so long. The Walking Dead, they have kind of a loose end script because they have the comics. Whereas Fear the Walking Dead, they're kind of taking parts of Walking Dead and then blending it into Fear. So, we see them catching on to this stuff a little bit quicker. Even though the storyline can sometimes go a little slower, we see them picking up different cues. Hey, we gotta stab them in the head. Hey, we gotta camouflage ourselves with the walker blood and all kinds of things like that. We see that happen quicker in Fear than we did in The Walking Dead.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I can see that. This way they don't have a blueprint. The other show has a blueprint to work off of. It may not be 100% exact to that blueprint, but it's at least gives them an idea which direction they need to be going. This one they kind of really honestly don't. But, the next part would be the hotel part. Did you have any idea or any concerns, I guess, about that one?
Well, when we first see him going into the hotel, you're thinking, again, we have The Walking Dead that we also watch. You think, oh my goodness, hotel. Okay, here we go again. We're going to go into this big, huge shitstorm of walkers. But when we first walk in there, we don't see anything. We don't see any of the walkers, and we don't see any signs of anybody even being there. What'd you think?
I really downstairs was nice and clean. Throughout the entire building that we actually see was clean, but what's kind of weird, though, is that some of them, of course, because they were actually talking about it in the show, that they've been locked inside their rooms. But when them two downstairs start drinking and having all good old time downstairs, you start seeing the zombies going out the windows and crashing to the ground. I think that was awesome. I really like seeing. I don't believe, though, honestly, if the zombie did fall that far, because you see a few of them, the very first two that you actually see, they get up and start walking away. I just don't think they're going to. They may be dragging themselves away if their brain pan is still there.
Yeah, I didn't really agree with that whole make the walkers get up and walk. Honestly, some of these walkers, they were falling we're talking floors and floors and floors up. We're not talking, this is a really teeny tiny hotel. This is a huge hotel. And we see them falling from the windows. And, we see some of them, they went splat, didn't get up. But then we see some of them, like he said, the first two got up and just started walking. Really? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me.
But once I got through this part, that kind of annoyed me a little bit, but really, it's really hilarious. Is if you ever seen the movie Shaun of the Dead, which is one of my favorite movies, they actually are inside the bar themselves, and they stand behind the bar in the middle, and you have the zombies just reaching at them. I think it was kind of a nod to Shaun of the Dead, because that was just awesome. I love that part of it.
I thought it was really stupid that they were making all that noise. Of course, again, they don't necessarily know. You would think by season 2, though, they would know. They would know the noise would draw them out. They would know that. I mean, we see them, knocking on doors and this and that, trying to get, see if there's any walkers in there or anybody. And then all of a sudden, oh, let's go play the piano. Oh, let's break some glass against the wall. Stupid. I guess when you're drunk, you kind of do stupid stuff.
Go ahead and jump down to the next point. We have a whole list here of little things we need to kind of go over. But the possible cure part of this show, I mean, they got very interesting. The doctor, I guess pharmacist, whatever, hands Nick a bottle of water. The way it sounds is if the water itself is the cure, or maybe he was just handing them to him because, hey, you worked so hard to get the other bottle of water in this episode. Maybe, it was kind of an odd thing to hand to Nick in that part of the episode.
I don't know. I mean, we see that the pharmacist, who is now quote unquote the doctor, as he's bending down to get this, we see, kind of a little mark on his shoulder, like somebody took a big old chunk out of him. And then earlier in the episode, the girl and Nick were exchanging a conversation about, the walkers and being dead and how this is going to cleanse the earth and blah, 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 blah. And she says something about that bite mark and how he survived a walker attack and a bite and everything. And then all of a sudden we jump to the very end, and the pharmacist and Nick are having a little conversation there, kind of along the same lines. And then we see that bite mark. So is the cure in the water, or does the doctor do something to make the cure happen? I don't know, but I bet you the Walking Dead people would really like to know what that cure is. Maybe they should have went down to Mexico.
Or, theoretically, he could be a mutant. I mean, maybe there is some kind of a genetic defect in him that actually has created the cure on accident, possibly. I mean, I would love to be able to see the cure. I don't know. I really wouldn't think they would show the cure this quickly. I would have honestly held that off until the show was basically about to its end. I really wouldn't have held it out this, just like a bombshell almost in the very, very beginning. I don't know. I don't like that idea. It's more or less just kind of like a fish hook just dangling in front of your face kind of thing. Did you like the whole cure being almost disclosed in the very beginning?
Yeah, and see, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know what the cure is until we're almost done. Is it the cure? We don't know. But how else would somebody survive a bite attack unless we go back to, Walking Dead, whenever Herschel got bit on the leg, we just hacked his leg off. I mean, did they just get it in time and they just cut that little part out of his neck? We have no idea. We don't know the backstory of it right just yet. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more answers. Now, the big thing in this whole episode that I think we need to talk about here is I think we need to talk about Nick and the candy bar at the drug cartel store, which the drug cartel store is really funny. We don't know if they're drug cartel. That was just what I was thinking in the first episode, or the mid-season premiere last week. I was thinking these guys were, the drug cartel. The lady and Nick, she goes into the store, everything, and, she lays all of her stuff down and then hands them the medicine. And then, they're going through. Here we have a grocery store type setup with a makeshift hospital in the back. But I guess you just got to do what you got to do. But, Nick steals a candy bar and then they find it. But do you think Nick stole the candy bar on purpose?
I don't know. I think he did, because I think he's learning how to manipulate people, learning how to survive in this reality, more or less. So yeah, I think honestly he did. He stole it to try to get more out of it. I mean, think about it. His entire life he's been a druggie, and they have been more or less controlling his life, the drug dealers, the makers, whatever else. So I think at this point it might have been another way he could have just kind of stabbed back at the oppressors in the very beginning.
Kind of like stick it to the man, the guy at the beginning, or the lady and the guy that she's trying to get this stuff from, he apparently they have a pact or something, like she brings stuff to them, medicine, and they give her, I think it's supposed to be 2 carts, and then all of a sudden this time it's only 1 cart. And so he's like, Nick's like, nope, not gonna happen. He wants more. He wants more water, because those people back in town, they need the water. They need all of that. What'd you think about Madison? You think she's having a Rick moment, going a little nutso?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, at this point, though, later in the episode, you actually find out that she lost her husband because his pursuit for destruction kind of thing, just like Nick is. So she could just be feeling like a big failure, that she's losing everyone. I guess Rick did kind of too, a little bit, when he lost his wife in the prison. He went like a freaking nutbag. But maybe she is going down the direction. But it's kind of early, you would think. You would think she'd be able to kind of keep it together just a tad bit longer. But maybe not. I mean, maybe she is going that direction that quickly. I don't really want to yet, but...
Well, and the thing about Madison is, I mean, she was a school counselor before all hell broke loose. She was a school counselor. She should know how to do this and deal with this and things like that, death and her first husband, and now she's lost her second husband and his son, and now Nick's gone, and but she should have a little bit of coping. Maybe not. I don't know how I'd react. I'd probably go a little nuts too. She kind of reminds me a lot of Rick. She has some good leadership qualities, but when she gets punched over and over and over and over, she tends to go a little crazy. And I think we saw that in the bar scene with the drinking and then throwing the glasses, all kinds of chaos. And every time she kept taking a drink, she kept saying, here's to whatever, here's to this, here's to that. And I think she is going nuts. I really do.
Yeah, well, I hope she kind of gets that back together, get back to normal. Because really, you think about it, Rick by this point has had to do a few mercy killings. I mean, he's done a few things to actually get to that crazy point, but she really honestly hasn't. I mean, maybe one. I mean, she really hasn't done anything major. Maybe if you can think about all those people they left on the boats and out in the water, maybe that could be kind of close to the mercy killing scenario.
And maybe just not knowing what's going on. I mean, they still really don't. They kind of know, but they kind of don't know what's going on. We got to see a little bit of, the precursor of how this, I guess, quote unquote, started. I still think we don't really know how the whole infection started and how it was brought on. We just got to see what happens. Like, okay, it's here. People are starting to do weird things, and all that stuff. But I just hope that she gets it back. I hope she gets it back under control. Rick still has his little psycho moments, so I'm sure she's going to have her little psycho moments. But, I hope she gets it back.
Yep, and they're definitely already turning into the Angels of Death, just like Rick's group. So if you like that, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your comments, so we definitely read them. Now, like I said, we are definitely going to be doing this for a lot of different shows. So we will catch you guys next time.